Carla Reeb joins us now on the show. She's the executive director for the Troy Nature Society. Carla, thank you for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us.
For those not familiar with the Nature Society, give us some background.
Our history is that back in 2010, when the city announced the planned closure of the Stage Nature Center, that a group of concerned citizens stepped forward and asked if they formed a nonprofit, if the city would allow them to continue the programs and activities of the Nature Center. And of course, the city owned the property since the 1970s and had been doing some programming and activities. But we took over as the Troy Nature Society in 2011. And we've been going great guns since then in partnership with the city of Troy and its residents.
So what's it been like for your organization this past year?
Program-wise, it has been a struggle. We've learned that virtual programming, educational nature and science programming is very popular. So we do that Facebook Live programming. We have done that quite a bit over last year. The good news is, as you were speaking about being outside and people enjoying this environment more than they ever have, last year, even though our Nature Center exhibit hall was closed to the public and for public programming, our 100-acre preserve with its 2 miles of walking trails was open to the public, and there were hundreds of people daily walking the trails, social distancing, and our staff and volunteers actually had to be out there maintaining the trails from the heavy traffic, because we would chip our trails and clean up any debris or any trees or anything that's fallen across the trails. We had so many people telling us that we were just a respite for stress release and how much they enjoyed the preserve. So we got a lot of comments about thank you for keeping your trails open to the public.
That is so great. And with that too, Carla, I know it's going to be years before we actually know this, but I feel like because of the pandemic, we've had a lot of kids become so engaged with the outdoors and with nature that we're going to see a lot of environmentalists and nature lovers come out of this pandemic.
That is probably a really good push for us, because our mission is to provide education to inspire the appreciation and preservation of nature. So our goal is to make all of our citizens and visitors aware of good stewardship of our natural environment. So we're really hoping that we push ahead and get the youngsters involved in nature education.
I know that Carla Reeb with us here on the MegaCast. She's the executive director for the Troy Nature Society, but you're also a nonprofit. How is that going right now? It can be challenging right now.
It can be challenging. We were fortunate enough to apply for PPP funding, and we got both around last year, and we were just recently awarded the second round of PPP funding. That has actually been very beneficial to keeping our programs rolling and our staff employed. And also the city, who we have a very wonderful partnership with, has stepped up and provided additional funds to for us to keep our doors open. So we're going to make it through, and we do several things to raise funds. We write grants, and we hold fundraisers. We have membership. All of our membership fees go towards underwriting our programs and services. So we have over 200 families that support us annually with a membership fee. So we're doing it. We're going to hang in.
But with that, Carla, you also rely on so many volunteers to help you with your mission. What has the volunteer side been like for you and your team?
For the most part, our volunteers have hung in with us. We have over 225 volunteers who help us with, they help us in the exhibit hall to greet people, to give out information, to give out maps. We have volunteers that help us regularly on the trails. And one of the more important things they do is they assist us with our public programs to the public and enjoying what we can to keep people coming to the programs.
Wow, 225 volunteers. That's amazing, which is just a testament to the great work that you and everyone else is doing over there. With that, if someone has never been there, what would they expect?
Well, they can visit the exhibit hall. We are open Tuesday to Friday, 9 to 3, and Saturdays, 10 to 4. The exhibit hall has a display of wildlife. We have a live display of reptiles and amphibians, and we call them our educational ambassadors because we use them for programmings. We have frogs and turtles and snakes, so we bring those out for people to see during our programming. And our most popular, newest exhibit is our rehabilitated owls that we took in 2018. This is a very big demand to see the owls.
So I will say with that, Carla, owls I'm down with. Frogs and snakes, not a big attraction for me. But what's been the response from the public, from some of your first-time visitors?
Most people are pretty amazed, and to see snakes close up and frogs close up, I think it's a matter of education. I mean, sometimes you don't know the value that these reptiles, amphibians, and the raptors have to our environment. So it's when you learn about the importance of these animals, it's pretty amazing, and you do want to engage them once you realize their importance to the environment.
Mother Nature is amazing, and all of the creatures and that we co-live on this earth together. With that, Carla, what fueled your passion for nature?
I originally have managed other nonprofits related to education, but not nature education. So when I had this opportunity presented to me, I actually served on the board of directors before I was the executive director to get my feet wet. And I actually discovered the passion from all of the volunteers and the board members and the staff that have a passion for the environment and good stewardship, and the knowledge that they have of reptiles, amphibians, raptors. It was totally contagious, and that sold me right then and there.
With that, Carla Reeb with us here on the MegaCast. She's the executive director for the Troy Nature Society. I know that you had mentioned that the hall is back open to the public right now, limited hours, but do people need to register online? How is that working, or is it first come, first serve?
The exhibit hall is limited to 15 people at a time, but people transition in and out. There is no fee to visit the exhibit hall or the preserve, but we are a nonprofit, so we appreciate donations. There's donation boxes inside the exhibit hall and at the trailhead. If visitors want to attend a specific program, there is normally a fee for most of the programs. We do some free programs for with our photo club where people can go on bird walks, and there's no charge for that. But most of the programs have a very minimal fee, which is why we fundraise, so that we can offer our programs to the public that make them very affordable.
So I know that you're always seeking donations, but are you going to be able to have some of those fundraising events this year in 2021, do you anticipate?
Well, with the recent announcement by the governor that expanding outdoor activities and capacity for indoors, yes, we are jumped right in and started planning to do our annual walk and run event, and we call it Run for Nature. And at the back of our 100-acre preserve is an area called the Troy Farm, and it's not accessed from Coolidge, where we are located, but it's accessed off of Beach Road and South Boulevard. And the city was kind enough a few years ago to put in a trail for us so that we could hold a fundraising event. And this is a challenging trail, but we're looking forward. We just started planning it, and it's going to be on Saturday, June the 12th at the Troy Farm. And at this time, because it's so new and our planning of it, we haven't got the information up on our website. But for those people that are runners and walkers and want to participate in that event, they can like us on our Facebook page and send us a private message with their name and their email, and we'll be happy to add them to our email list so that when the information becomes available shortly, they'll be able to sign up.
Well, events such as that is one of the things that makes Troy such a great place to live. So we so appreciate your time. Carla Reeb with us here on the MegaCast. She's the executive director for the Troy Nature Society. I have not been out there, but I'm looking forward to going out now and exploring your trails. So thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Hope to see you there.